Without further ado, I would like to introduce the thing you go. I call her Tiny because that's how she introduced herself to me.
Yeah.
But which is strange because she's not a tiny girl. She's not a tiny girl. But I would like to introduce you to Dingy go over there. I am going to switch off my camera so that she has full screen space. I think that's how this thing works. And then we can start with the agenda for the day, which is our vision board, right? So essentially, today we're going to be covering how to create a vision board, what is the purpose of a vision board, and how this feeds into your 2026 plan for the year, right? Me personally, I feel what a vision board is very important to have. It kind of forces you to not only think about your future self in a present time, but also what is it exactly that you desire. Because sometimes you say, yo, I'm from driving motor, but you actually don't see yourself in that car. You say it because it's something that you say. With a vision board, it kind of allows you to have a more tangible aspect to that dream or vision of yourself. So hence it's called the vision board. It's how you see yourself and how you can bring that back to now. But I don't want to say too much. I am not the one that is in charge of this session. And then Gugu, yes, Ikem, Pendulani, I will answer your question after Odingekwa has her moment. Thank you very much. So with that being said, I am switching off my camera if I can find it. Okay, can I switch off my camera? Wonderful. Okay, then I get Tiny over to you.
All right. So, yeah, Kamala Mutinyeko, we'll be discussing on how to create your vision board for 2026. I think we can all say we had a very interesting 2025, some with goals, some without goals, freestyling though as possible as we can. But you learn later that it's not that easy to just freestyle, like you need to have a plan set for yourself. So one question that you need to ask yourself, right, is how do I want my 2026 to feel? Do you want it to feel inspiring, motivating? What is it exactly that you desire for yourself? You look at what you did 2025, a lot of things come with a lot of improvements. We don't just wake up every day and say, yeah, I've accomplished this thing to the best of my abilities. It's done now. There's always time for growth, right? So now we're looking at the calm power, freedom, the soft life, the legacy. What is your vision of it? Because everybody has their own narrative of how they look into their own lives and what the goals are. So if we're going to categorize, right, you're going to break down your vision into pieces. So is it about your career? Is it about money, health and body, love and friendships, lifestyle and travel, or your spiritual and personal growth? So these are all things that you take into consideration. Obviously, plus more if you have bigger aspirations, Now it's more so of visualizing. Yes, it's not your vision, but you're kind of visualizing how you want your 2026 to go. One thing that I think a lot of people are a big fan of is Pinterest, right? Going onto Pinterest, looking for images, sourcing them. I think we all go there to confidence boost and ego boost ourselves, especially when you go onto Pinterest and you're like, oh my gosh, I want this car one day, or oh my gosh, I want this lifestyle. Like, it's a platform that basically can be used to see into other people's lives and kind of envision what you would want for yourself. Almost like a fear of missing out. So, you're suffering a little bit of that FOMO. So that would then now be how we're going to integrate using Pinterest for our 2026 vision board. You're going to go and make a list. This list is going to have things you want to achieve, things you felt like maybe you lacked in 2025 and you want to grow on that, right? And we're setting it for 2026. Remember, every year is different. We try to achieve realistic. I can't say, okay, my vision board, I'm going to use it 2026, 2027, 2028. We're focusing on the now. So you're going to make a list. This list, you're then going to go onto Pinterest. When you go onto Pinterest, for example, you can search up your dream car. For instance, I would probably search up the BMW X6, right? If I know that I'm in a space to accomplish getting this BMW X6, I am going to put it there, right? I'm going to put my X6 in my vision board. If I say, okay, this year I want to work on a new image, I want to try out new hairstyles, I want to try out new outfits, I want to learn how to look a certain way, I'm going to go there and I'm going to type how to look like a soft girl aesthetic, right? And it's going to come up, it's going to pop up. You're going to be hit with thousands of images, but you're going to be there. You select them. You select and be like, oh, okay, I love this outfit. Or maybe, just how what you want to feel, right? If I want to accomplish work goals, I'll type in there, office studios, right? Office studios, and it shows you lovely pictures of office studios. You can put even posters, little clip notes, and not even to say that a vision board needs to be like a small thing. Some people's vision boards cover their entire walls, right? And it's always something changing, always something that you realize that, wow, I really want to work on this for 2026, right? If you want to be someone who is determined in their confidence, like this is something that you really need to look at. So when everything is said and done, you've now gathered all these images. People have preferences. Those who want to print can print. Those who want to do a digital vision board can do a digital vision board. I know last year my vision board was too big for it to fit digitally, so I had like 3 or so. Don't repeat my mistakes, because again, you need to discipline yourself in having a very clear vision, right? One thing about your vision board, and I say this very, very lightly, it's okay to fantasize, right? But fantasizing without the motive to do something or just leaving it as a fantasy then ruins the purpose of the vision board, because the vision board is there to remind you that, hey, by the way, I wanted to do this for myself, let me do it. So you look at your vision board and be like, okay, for my 2026, I said I wanted to work on a new look. I wanted to look a new way. Let me see now, what have I done? Your vision board must always have an action. So now I've decided I want to look like this for 2026. This is my MO. I want to look professional, yada, 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 yada. What platforms am I going to go on to? What am I going to do for that? That means now having to take the initiative. And your vision board, something always overlaps with something else. I want to look different, but now the money, what am I going to do to look different? Because ideally, I can't just wake up and say, yeah, difference hit me now, Is it now linking to what I also put on my vision board when I said that I want to be more so into my work, or I want to start a business? And in starting a business, how do I then make my money? Am I saving this money? Am I spending this money recklessly? What am I doing? So your vision board is also kind of like a shoestring pin, right? Everything links to each other. So just also take that into consideration. And pray for your vision boards, guys. A lot of the time we sit there and we want to just, yeah, okay, my vision board is going to have this from Pinterest, this from Pinterest. Sit down and talk to God and be like, you know what, I've established what type of a life I want to have for my 2026. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's not, to the point, for the fact that you are predetermined to achieve these goals, of course, all in the will of God, can never happen without God. You pray on it. You say, you know what, Lord, I see the things that you've done for me, and that you're truly grateful for the things that they have done for you, you know, um, and that you only wish nothing but the will of God for yourself, especially when it comes to your goals. One thing I always pray upon, and people laugh at me, guys, I always pray upon, number one, just let everything go. Your version of yourself 2025 was the version of yourself 2025. Now we're looking into the now. So you must tell God, in my now, going on to the future, may I walk on a platform of gold. May I speak so that light comes through me. You need to emphasize, and you need to feel your vision board. Like when you look at your vision board, you must be like, yeah, no, like I'm aspiring to become this person, you know and it doesn't even need to be neat. I mean, obviously, aesthetic girlies, you'll make it look very nice. But just paste a picture here, paste a picture there. And another thing, it's not always about pictures. Sometimes, especially if you have a physical vision board, you can make little sticky notes, right? Or little posters that you put there. And you can either write a small prayer or a small achievement, or you can even list it down and be like, okay, it's now going into April or March. I've achieved this, this, and this, and this on my vision board. And you keep it there. You don't even take it down, nothing. You keep it there and be like, okay, one by one, I'm ticking, I'm ticking, I'm ticking, I'm ticking, I'm ticking. The more that you see you are working towards your goals, you get so motivated, because at the end of the day, like you'll sit there and be like, wow, like I'm just that girl. Like I am in I am in my soft girl era. And the nice part about it is that you wouldn't have depended on anybody else for achieving these goals. These goals were specifically achieved by the one and only, right? Which is more said than done, because a lot of the time as people, we depend on other people for our success, and not to say that you shouldn't, but if you know how to lead your life, and not to say that it's a very easy thing to do, but if you know how to lead your life, you have this passion for your life, you have a passion for living, you just have this thing and says in me that no, I need to accomplish, I need to do my very best, and be okay with your very best, sometimes being 10%, sometimes being 20%. A lot of the time, you cannot give yourself 100%. Okay, nobody can give themselves 100% of the day. And don't beat yourself down for it. Be patient with your vision boards as well. Don't rush. Don't have unrealistic expectations to say, okay, because I wanted this for myself, and if it doesn't happen now, you feel some type of way about it. Be happy even for the small milestones. So even if you were not able to save up the amount that you wanted to save up, for the fact that you've saved something, you've made the effort, and you gave it your all, right? That's what matters. Even if you didn't get the position in the job that you wanted, but for the fact that you still have that security, you hone that in and be like, I am grateful that I even have the opportunity to earn a salary, to wake up every morning, to have a purpose to waking up. Or if you want to start that business, especially as an entrepreneur in South Africa, can be very difficult. We wake up with these expectations of, yeah, if I start a business, wow, it's going to kick off in like 2-3 months. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. Not everybody gets the same opportunities, but eventually your time will come. Your vision board is the vision that you aspire for yourself. It is you. It is the vision you want to see in yourself. And that is what we need to look at, right? So when you make this vision board, keep in mind of, who am I? Okay? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to say, yeah, wow, 2026, we always say new year, new me. So what was new this year? What was new about me? What are the things that I tried so hard to achieve? You know, just put yourself in a position where you can look at yourself and be like, wow. Even on the toughest day, you can look at yourself and be like, Yazin, I've done a lot. Like I have accomplished a lot in my life, be grateful for what you have accomplished, because a lot of the times, even when you think people are not watching, someone's always watching. Someone will always see that you have accomplished. So don't beat yourself up for it. Don't hold anything against it. Guys, life is life. You fall, you get back up again. It's how it works, right? It really is how it works. So, with your vision boards, aspire to be what you see, what you've envisioned for yourself. And don't even rush the vision board, right? Take some time on it. Like while you're doing it, you can watch a movie, make some coffee, some tea, and just think about it. It mustn't take 2 seconds to complete this thing, you know? Like, think about it. Just be like, okay, like I mentioned in the beginning, you start with your list, you put this list, you name it, you put it aside. You can even make it a checklist if you want, right? Put this list, you've now accomplished everything. Well, you've written what you want to accomplish in 2026. You go to your vision board, you find images that relate to what you want to accomplish in your 2026, and then you create a visual image of it. You can even put stickers, fonts, everything. Like, be creative. It's not, like I said, it's not only just about the pictures. Your vision board must scream, yeah, Utinyiko made this. Like, I can see she made this vision board, It's artsy, it's creative, it's pleasing. Like, you can see everything. Like, just put everything on there. Be you. Like, if you is loud, be loud. Like, they must see it without you talking. If you're soft, be soft, Like, yeah. So take time with your vision boards. Be realistic with your vision boards. As much as we would all like to fly to Mars, not all of us can get to Mars, but be realistic with your vision boards. Work towards those goals. Don't get upset when you don't reach those goals at the time that you did. Not to say that there's always next year, but like I said, be happy at the fact that you even made the effort, because a lot of people can just say, I tried, we move on with life. Deep down, you know that this thing is hurting you. So yeah, and even so, when you do that, surround yourself with the people that you want to be surrounded by, the things you want to become. People who not necessarily have the same vision as you, but have the same motive, do that for yourself. Even if you have to do it in a group, with your friends, and be like, hey, you know what, today I heard something, there was something, a talk about a vision board. I think like we should do one. You can have a picnic, and then you can buy canvases. Guys, make it fun. Make it fun. I feel like 2025 was just full of stress, 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 stress. It's time to let it go. Like, it is time to let it go. It's Kalile. Like, this year there's no tears. There's no tears. Live life to its best. Like, live life to its best. So have fun with these vision boards. And look, at some point in October, you can decide that, ish, there's something I want to add to this vision board, right? You can add it. Add even as long as you go. As long as you're going, keep adding. But as long as you are not going to sit there in front of your vision board and say, ish, Konje, I wanted to do this for myself, but did you try? The question is, did you try? So have that expectation to say, yay, I tried my best. If you accomplish it, thumbs up to you. If you don't, still thumbs up to you. As long as you what? As long as you tried. Give it your best, give it your all, be creative, People will eventually accept you for who you are, accept yourself for who you are and what you can accomplish, and everything will be fine. So yeah, that is my talk.
No, thank you so much for sharing so much. Like, I actually have a couple of notes. I was also taking notes, right? Because like I also have, right? So, and I think the first thing that caught my attention was how you spoke about digital versus a physical vision board, right? I have a digital one. It's my screensaver, literally. I see it every day, right? I would love to have a beautiful canvas in my room. I'm just not great at arts and crafts. You don't put me next to a scissor, it doesn't work.
Oh, sometimes you can just go to Pinterest and then print and then just, cut it out. Whatever looks cute, you put it here, small nyana there, Like, it works. Like, no one is ever perfect, but you learn.
And I think that's the beautiful thing, right, about having a physical one versus a digital one is with a physical one, it's very easy to amend on it. It's very easy to add. Sometimes, because at the beginning of the year, we all say, New Year, new me, I'm aspirational. Sometimes I do become a bit dululu about the things I can and cannot achieve because
Yeah.
everybody's in that stage of, no, I mean, I can do this. How? I can include a land, if I apply myself properly. We're all in that state. And it kuba very lula ukuthi find yourself putting unrealistic expectations on your vision board because you think you can do it because you're in that hype, right? And I think with the physical vision board, it then becomes very easy for you to amend as you go because it's something you
Yeah.
see as the year goes by. You're like, hey, Mara, like, can I really afford to buy like this budget or this year? Like, I mean, I want it, that's true, and I'm working towards it, but it becomes a very, and I love how also you highlighted um the time frame, right? That do your vision board yearly. Some people do it like a targets thing for 6 months, but it should not be something that you use for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because then what the psychology behind that is that it took you this long to get so many things done. And, and I've always thought vision boards were like a psyche game, right?
Yeah.
Literally, if I see it long enough, can I achieve it? Do I push myself to do it? Remember when I started vision boarding, it was always a thing of, oh my God, is every time I see it, I want to do it? Or I always wanted to understand the psychology is, does seeing it motivate me, or does seeing it kind of instill the fear that I need to do it? Or is it like speaking things into the universe? Somehow, somewhere, they kind of figure out a way of working around each other. It was an interesting thing. But I think I have a digital one. So I mean it works for me right
Yeah.
now. I don't have an issue with it. But I feel like a physical one, especially when you're starting out,
Yeah.
is it's the
It's
best.
value.
Yeah, it's like a basic plan. It gets things done so much more effectively, especially if you put it in like your room or something, like the first place you or the most constant place you are
Yeah.
in the house that you stay in. It just makes things so much easier, right? And Mina, and you mentioned something about praying on it, right? I remember when I did my vision board, I did it over a span of I think a week and a half.
Okay.
And in that week and a half, I was constantly praying. I was fasting in between that week because I didn't want to put things there that when I look at sometime in June, I haven't even accomplished even one third of it. Right? And that's a very big goal to put on myself. Firstly,
Yeah.
it might not happen, but that's what I want to achieve. But I feel like, especially like it doesn't matter what kind of faith-based system you're on.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, you just you pray or you give homage to whoever or whatever that you believe in. But I feel like rooted in something more than just wants and needs. Because the more it means to you, the more it will make sense to achieve the goals that are on the board.
Exactly.
Because sometimes, even if it's a frivolous thing, but if it means it means a lot to you. And I remember last year, my on my vision board was I need to finish this year alive. It was the stupidest thing. Everybody kept on asking me how.
Hey,
Like, that is a bit dark.
look, I can kind of tell where that came from, because like I said, hey, 2025 was
Yo,
wow.
5. Yo,
It
this
was
year, I don't want that
wow.
year again. Like, I don't want that year again,
Yeah,
and
no, I think I'm
especially Futhi in our community as well, as you know, 2026 is also not going to a great start. I mean, we've had a couple of our sisters being kidnapped and murdered. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people are going missing. So already you can imagine it's a very shaky slope right now. Like everybody's not okay. We're all tense. The news are also not helping. Social media is not a great place to be. especially from a mindset perspective, because being against Agalayo and it kind of messes with you also when you doom scroll. But
You know, speaking about the doom scrolling, I can tell you now one big mistake that I made was taking my vision board and then comparing my life to other people. That was my biggest mistake. My second biggest mistake was when I prayed about my vision board. I said, God, this year I want a car. God, I want. And I wanted it directly. I didn't say, God, lead me to a path where I'm able to get myself a car, right? Show me the way on how I'm going to achieve this. Not, I wanted this and I want it now. And if you don't give it to me, hey, Pella, a lot of the time we speak to God like there's no terms and conditions. Like it's either my way or no way, right? And you need to remember, like, be selfless. Like if it means helping, like for me, as a digital marketer, if it means me helping somebody's brand grow for me to also get to my goal, right, I will do so. It's all, like I said, everything connects to each other. Something will always make up for something else. In terms of like the things that have been happening, especially you saying that 2026, we didn't enter this year softly, if I should say. January on its own came with a lot of drama, a lot of drama. And one thing everybody should be grateful for, despite of how hard it is, and I know it's easier said than done, but be so grateful for your life. Like, be so grateful. The unpainful truth is that there's always someone going through worse than you. There's always someone going through worse, but they're still also pushing through. I feel like if you're chosen as God's warrior, guys, no one said it was going to be easy. Let's start there. If you're the chosen one, you're the chosen one. You will fight. You will fight. And
this
that
way,
warfare,
you must get out of war.
yo, yo. Wawana, God will make an example out of you. Wow. What a wow. What a wow. So yeah, just like be grateful for the life that you're living. I mean, hey, things happen every day. Like and another thing, if you're envisioning a better life for yourself, sometimes when you pray out of existence, it kind of like benefits you as well, because I can say I want this, but think about it. If I sit there and I'm like, okay, I want to pray over my family. Like I know my sister, she's doing this. I want this to go great for her. Sometimes when you pray for other people, you're basically earning aura points, if I should put it like that, since we are the new generation. You're earning yourself some aura points. Okay? So don't always, in your prayers, don't be selfish, right? Because once you turn selfish, nothing goes right for you. Don't be someone's disturbance in their life, because what you do unto one shall do unto you as well. And then you're gonna ask yourself, but why are things not going good for me? Keep in mind, Gucci, when on so say that other side about Simpiwe, and now Simpiwe's angels are coming to seek vengeance on her behalf. So be careful. Be very, very careful. Love yourself. Love the people who love you. Wow, like life is amazing, guys. If life was easy, there would be no meaning to life. I can tell you that right now. So what do you think?
That is very true. And I love the fact that you brought upon family. And I think even in the poster, that was kind of, it was alluding to the type of things that you need to have in your mindset when you build your vision board, right? Yes, it is a personal thing to help you kind of direct your thinking and your energy onto specific things that you feel, or specific areas that you feel would see need attention, right?
Yeah.
But no man is an island, and no man operates in a silo, right?
Yeah.
And family is a big part of that. Whether you have a big family, you have a small family, you only have one member who forms part of your family, because we come from different households, right? But it's very important that even when you plan, you work on your relationships, right? Because it's great to have a car, it's great to live in a specific area, it's great to have a promotion, but if you have no one to share that with, if you have no one to rejoice in that environment with, then really what's really worth it? Because unfortunately, behind the psychology of a human being, once they feel lonely, even their achievements don't matter.
That is true.
So you don't want to be in a space where you feel lonely and you realize the reason why you are in the space is because of your actions. So you take time, it reminds me of the TikTok, Leia Lindomazane Elena, I saw it the other day, where the girl was like, I just want to rant for a little bit. I show up for my friends, I show up for my family. I'm a full-time student, I work full-time, and I'm tired, but I show up. Can we just bring back the culture of showing up for the people? Whether sometimes it's difficult, whether you don't feel like it, but that's how you nurture relationships. You show up, you do things sometimes you don't feel like doing, that you don't see value in doing, but they mean so much to the next person that it makes your relationship turn into something so much more beautiful that it would not have become if you had said, but I don't feel like it, I don't want to do it. So it's very important to look at your vision board from a holistic perspective, not just as I want, but what do I need as well? As a human being, I have different silos in which I operate in. Am I looking at is my vision board expressing all of these silos? Am I talking about my spirituality on my vision board? Am I talking about my family on my vision board? Am I talking about my career? Am I talking about my personal development? Am I talking about my mental health? Am I talking about all these things that make me on my vision board? Is this expressed? Can I see it clearly? Can I see the direction and the mindset? And you mentioned it beautifully. How do I want to feel in 2026? Right? And that speaks to not only just spirituality, but your emotional, your EQ, right? Your emotional intelligence and so forth. How do I want to improve my EQ this year? What do I need to do? And this brings me to the next point of, yes, a vision board is great, but it's a start.
Exactly.
And I saw this beautiful video, and I really hope I find it again. It was like a YouTube video, and then I'll share it on our status for the page. But it was a video of a girl that says she wants to talk. When you do a vision board, you go through different states, so you can have the pictures, but then go to, okay, I want to achieve this in May. What are the 4 things I need to do to achieve this? From that list of 4, you go back to each point. What are the 4 things I need to do to achieve each point? And you work through it just like that, just like that. And as you go through it, you come up with a plan. That way, it takes you back to, okay, this is where I am. These are the 16 things I need to do to be able to get. Then it gives you a roadmap on this is who I need to contact, this is the relationship I need to build, this is what, so that you have a roadmap. A vision board is great, but it doesn't work in isolation, especially if you don't put in the work. It's a funny thing. Like it looks beautiful and you think the job is done because aesthetically, oh my god, I have all these outfits on here and I have a neutral palette, I'm building a wardrobe capsule and whatever. Then you open your wardrobe and you realize I want to go for neutral colors and I don't even own one. Then now what do? Do I need to buy new clothes? Do I need to borrow new clothes? Do I need to rate my family's members' wardrobe to get new clothes? See how that planning thing starts coming in. Now you're asking, what do I need to do to be where I need to be? And then you work your way back. I prefer to raid my mother's closet. She has really good colors. So but yeah, that's just me. I'm lucky enough to
raid my sister's closet. I'm going to be chased and hunted down. So I can't do that.
Some people are more fortunate than others, where their siblings just but and then it goes back to counting your blessings, right? Always, always, always. Even in your vision board, right? And I love how you said with a physical one, you can do like a small post-it where Ushoga said, this is what I achieved, right? It always kind of brings you back to, it's not just about the want, the need, and the lust, but about the appreciation, the achievement, and the settling in oneself. I want to be able to do this. And once I've done it, I become grateful. It's also a motivation factor because nothing makes you more motivated than the root of what gratefulness comes from.
Exactly. Yes.
And I say that because pride comes from gratefulness. Drive stems from gratefulness. You need to feel grateful and content before the emotion can progress into something else.
Exactly.
So you need to practice that intentionally so that you know that it will continue to motivate you to do other things. So have easy things on your vision board. I have those as well that I know are going to be very easy for me to achieve. And I put them on there on purpose because then I know definitely I'm going to tick off a few things from the list to say I've done this to motivate myself. Because nobody wants to feel bad. Like I had this whole list and like I'm not doing anything about it. And like, why I'm failing? Like, what is this about? So it's very good to also have like easy stuff, man. And I'm not talking like waking up every day. That's great, depending on the different kind of mental states you're in. But like have something like what, this week, for gym people, I went to the gym consistently for 2 weeks. And especially if that's a new thing for you or it's something that you want to do, then it becomes very easy. I cooked all my meals for a whole week, so it kind of does make you feel like, oh my god, I'm doing something right. I'm getting all the things that I need to do in the way that I need to be them. So it's like it's a few things. Of course I can go on a rant because I can talk for 25 days. Unfortunately, it's both a blessing and a curse. but but like I feel that it's very important to settle first before you do your vision board. For those that have not done so, it's very important for you to settle within yourself and really ask yourself, and you mentioned it as well, is who am I? Who do I want to be? Those are key questions in building your vision board. And I love the fact that you mentioned them so beautifully. Like it's like kind of doing a brand assessment of your current brand and then building a strategy where I want to be, right? And it's so beautiful because as you do your SWOT analysis, you realize, okay, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are my areas of improvement. This is where I can go. So I always recommend for everybody to do a SWOT analysis on themselves and their lives. This helps you kind of be able to navigate key areas that need to be on your vision board. And that comes from your opportunities, right? And then as well as your weaknesses, because those definitely need to be on there because they need to be improved. So you then go there and you turn your weaknesses into your opportunities as well. And you put them on your vision board, even if you don't hit the target on the dot. But it also forces you to self-improve. It also forces you to notice tendencies about yourself that you tend to overlook because they're not nice. Some abantu, we have different tendencies. Abanye abantu just they feel the need to be disrespectful and call it frank. Some people feel the need to be distant because I don't want to be around people all the time. But then you become socially awkward, you become socially reclusive. And that is not a good thing to be. So you then, as you highlight these key areas, because and I actually like spending time by myself. And then you think, wait, I spend too much time by myself. I need to start putting myself out there. Be comfortable with uncomfortability. Right? That's your vision board teaches you that very quickly. You need to be comfortable with with not being comfortable because that's how you get things done.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I'm not preaching today. Today I'm trying to keep it simple. you know. I don't want to go.
Sometimes you need to preach. Sometimes you need to just spit a bar here and there.
You did a wonderful bars on your presentation. I was like, go talking about vision trackers, and I'm like, yeah. So then once again, thank you so much for being willing to do this. Like it means a lot, and I really hope that the people that sticked around were able to hear, listen, and are hopefully going to implement, right? For those that already have vision boards, I think it's very important that each one teach one, right? As experienced as you are with your vision board, teach someone else how to do a vision board. Always amend, always be intentional, right? There's people with so many years of experience with vision boarding that don't necessarily see the need to share that. And I was having a conversation with a colleague the other day. They're like, no, but everybody should know how to do a vision board. Like, you were taught this from a very young age. Unfortunately, not everybody has access.
That is
So
true.
I would like to kind of issue out not necessarily a challenge per se, but to those that have vision boards, right? I really hope your vision board is a true reflection of who you aspire to be, but also it embodies who you are,
Mm.
because you can only change so much before you lose who you are. So be consistent with the things that make you you, but always punch up to break the glass ceiling so that you get the things that you would like to have. But remember, it's not about want, it's not about lust, it's about growth, and it's about uncomfortability. And how do we cement ourselves in that world where we need to be who we need to be who we want to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that's it for me. I know I stayed long and I kept to my time. Oh my god, thank
At
you.
least, because I was worried, because I was like, okay, are we running on time?
I kept to my time. Listen, I'm working on time management this year. It's on my vision board as well.
Like
Because
that is on my vision board. Yeah, being
because
able to
that's
keep to time.
exactly also to be on time. That
Mm,
is very important. I'm
yeah,
working on that. I'm working on that. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else from my end. Again, thank you so much, so much. Uh, and yeah, I think we can wrap this up. And I will hopefully it recorded. I really hope it recorded so I can post
I
this.
hope so.
But thank you to everybody who attended, and everybody have a great evening.
Well, it was lovely talking to you, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for bringing me on your live, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yes, yes. You see, now that you say that, I'm going to take full advantage of that. Thank you so much.
You better. I know you're gonna blow up my WhatsApp, which is perfectly fine with me. Perfectly
Okay,
fine.
bye.
Alright, bye.